Alright, so I don't have to introduce myself क्योंकि more or less सब मेरे को जानते हैं. हाँ, तो मेरा नाम गणेश है, मैं मुंबई से आया हूँ, जो नहीं जानते हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक एक ही बंदा नहीं जानता, बाकी सब हम मिल चुके हैं. एंड उनका परफॉर्मेंसेस में देख चुका हूँ, बहुत सारे टैलेंटेड परफॉर्मर्स है, सो थैंक यू सो मच. ऑलराइट, so I'll go ahead with my story. How many of you here have been rejected? Most of us. So I have been rejected a million times. It was the year 2006 when I just got a job with a company called India Infoline. This was a stockbroking company. I had just watched the movie Corporate. You know the movie Corporate that released years ago? Yeah. I also thought that I will have a sea-facing apartment, and in a few years I will have a garage in my garage. I would have a BMW in my garage. But there was one problem. I hated my job. I hated my job so much that I could not get out of bed. Have you ever been in a situation in your life where you just cannot get out of bed? You try so hard, but you cannot. The training program was very boring. I had to study about stocks, shares, intraday trading, and balance sheets of various companies. I could just not get through the training session. It was one such day when I went to work and I was feeling slightly uneasy. And in the afternoon, as I was about to go and drink water, I fainted and fell. People gathered around me. Now I had a trainer. The trainer is that kind of person who makes unnecessary jokes. She looked at me and told, "Ganesh, are you pregnant?" Because I fainted. And everybody laughed. I was so upset, I was so embarrassed that I went home to the doctor. Thankfully, I was not pregnant. The next day, again I came to work and I had curd rice. Now I'm a South Indian. I'm an Iyer from Tamil Nadu. We eat curd rice. And after you eat curd rice, what happens? You feel sleepy. So at 3 p.m., when the trainer was speaking about some company's balance sheet, my eyes started to close and it closed. Now that lady, that trainer, pregnant lady, for a very egoistic person, she looked at me and yelled, "Ganesh, how dare you sleep in my class?" Got up, went to the CEO and issued a termination letter to me. 9 o'clock I had a job, at 4 o'clock I was on the street. I went home and usually we have street dogs. Now the street dogs attacked me, but that day even the street dogs looked at me and told, "Loser." Getting fired is easy, but there is another problem, going home to a joint family. Now how many of you have been part of a joint family? Raise your hand. Joint family is equal to a mental asylum. Now, in a joint family, this happens. One side gets all the love and property, the other side gets trauma. Now, I was part of the trauma group. Now, I had my uncle's sons who were very brilliant in their studies. One of them had cracked the IIT and one of them had got a job in the US. So, just imagine the situation. US, IIT and Ganesh Iyer getting fired for sleeping after lunch. I was very disappointed, and that time, me, my mother and brother just shared one room. I slept, could not sleep, and I could not tell my mother because if I tell my mother, there would be a huge drama and it would cause even more bigger embarrassment to me. So I just didn't tell my mom. Next day, acted as if nothing happened, went to a cyber cafe and started applying for jobs. For the next month, I had just vada paos. Now if you come to Bombay, I will show you around, but never ever treat you to a vada pav because I am sick of it. Fast forward a few years later, I was 32 and single. Middle class boys don't find love. They have to find an arranged marriage situation. I was not getting any matches on Tinder, Bumble and all the dating sites, so I joined Jeevan Sathi. Easy for middle class boys like me. Now I don't know, I had the most terrible experiences. I found one girl who showed a lot of interest to me, and she told me, why don't you come to this workshop? Now this was a motivation workshop, and there was a trainer who came on stage just like me. Okay, and he told, do you love money? I told no. Everybody started to laugh, and that girl, after the break, she took me out. She told me, Ganesh, you're tall, dark and handsome. For the first time somebody told me that, and she then told, Ganesh, why don't you give me 20,000 rupees? A tall, dark and handsome, 20,000. I told yes, and I gave that money. That was the last I saw of that 20,000. 2 weeks later, she ran away with the money and I had the experience. I got rejected left, right and center for my color, for not having enough amount. And in India, you need to have a house. I was getting rejected. Now, getting rejected by the opposite sex really dents your confidence. Life moved on to 34. I had a set of best friends, Ramya and Sriju. We were part of a great group. Every evening we used to go out, watch movies, and then in the weekends we used to take long trips. That used to fill my heart, and for the first time in my life, I felt extremely happy. But then something happened. Sriju and Ramya started forming a pair. They started falling in love, and I was thrown out of the group. Every evening after work, I had to spend time with myself. And spending time with myself is extremely hard. In the weekends, it was even more harder because I didn't have anything to do. And what did I do? I used to watch Netflix. I watched all the series of Netflix, and it started affecting my mental health. The once bubbly Ganesh was full of life, now was extremely disappointed and depressed. Have you ever been in that situation? I'm sure most of you would have been. Friends, all my life, I faced trouble because I could not accept myself. I fell into this disease called Log Kya Kahenge. I wanted to impress my boss, and in that I lost my job. I wanted to impress my parents, my uncles, and everyone except me. And that caused a lot of trouble to me. Then I decided that I will accept myself. And today I've accepted myself, and I manage a team of 50, and I'm doing very well in my job. I found the love of my life, and we are married for 2 years, and that is why I lost my hair. And every evening and the weekends, I do not require any friends. I found so many open mics where I can come and perform my art. All because I could accept myself. As individuals, we go all around the world just to get you're good, you're great. But we forget that the only person that we need to impress is yourself. And when you impress yourself, the world changes. So friends, I just have a small message to share. Accept yourself for whoever you are. Tall, dark, thin, handsome, not having enough money, not having a great background. Even if you're part of a joint family, not getting any property, accept yourself, because when you accept yourself, you will change the world. Thank you so much.